Hey, Trevor from Offbeat Fitness here. Was just moving some sort of heavy-ish logs and thought I'd do a quick video on basic lifting technique. What we generally use is two basic lifting tools, as I usually call them. One is called our hinge, which is similar to like a deadlift you'd see in the gym. Um, and our squat, which you would also see in a gym as well. So I've got a couple of different sizes here, and I'll show you kind of two different ways to approach these types of lifts. So the first one we're going to start with is a hinge. I'm going to use this lighter, smaller log. These are both pretty dried out, so they're not too heavy. And of course, you know, if you need help, if you need somebody else to help you lift these, of course, do so. This is just when you're kind of in a pinch. So the first thing I want to do is get as close to this log as possible. I want to be pretty much right over top of it, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to picture, with that slight bend in my knee, I'm going to picture driving my hips back. So I always picture as if I was like closing a car door with my rear end. I'd push it back and close the door like that. Okay, once I've kind of gotten as far back as I possibly can, what I'm going to do is now allow a bit of a bend in my knee to get a hold of my object. Okay, so I can get my hands underneath there, and I'm just going to kind of recenter all that. All right, so I've got that under there, and what I can do from here is just drive, and I get the object to about hip height. Okay, so of course I can throw that on the stack here. Same deal with my bigger object here. Now, in some cases, if the object is low and it's kind of hard to get underneath this, when we're doing some projects, we have to move rocks and stuff like that, you sort of have to get a little bit lower. This is where a good squat can kind of come in handy. Now, everybody's depth will be a little bit different, so you may need to practice this, grab onto sturdy objects, and think about kind of lowering yourself down so you can work on your depth, work up to it. Practice, of course, with lighter objects. Okay, so what we would do with something like this is I'm going to get real close to it. I'm going to basically squat down as low as I can and get myself right underneath. Okay, and in this case, I've got it. I'm going to look forward, and I'm just going to drive my feet through the floor to stand up my object. Same deal. I've now got it at about hip height, and I can throw it on the stack. Okay. Now, what you may find is after you've kind of practiced both the hinge and the squat, you'll kind of find this sweet spot where you get a little bit more in tune and you kind of combine both movements. So if I was lifting this normally, I probably wouldn't need to squat all the way down like I just did. What I would do is get over top of it, start with that hinge, get a hold of it. Okay, so get everything set, and then I can sort of sit into a partial squat. My feet are down, and now from here, I can stand up that object, and I've got it, and I can throw it around and move it. Okay, so the idea is practice with light objects. Both of these movements really come in handy. If you're in the garden working, you can practice that hinge, or if you're in the garden and you are able to get down into that low squat, that can really come in handy as well. So next time you have to lift something sort of medium load, medium heaviness, give it a try. Practice this, and it might come in handy when you have to move somewhat heavier stuff. Thanks, and have a great day.